Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us for the March 25th core messaging update. I am so pleased to have you all back today. We're settling into our cadence and routine, and I think there's a lot for us to report today, so I appreciate you all logging in. I'll get to it. Again, beginning with our end state in mind. Our end state at the Department of Public Instruction is to get our educational services back to normal, or the new normal that we are creating during this time. And we are committed to our statement of intent to guide school districts with data for data-informed decisions so all students can continue to learn and all citizens remain safe and well. I want to report first on the district's distance learning expectation. As of 4:15 p.m., there are 82 school district plans and 11 non-public plans that have been submitted. As stated yesterday, we have 5 internal teams made up of DPI employees that have been established and trained, and they've been hard at work reviewing submissions. In collaboration with the governor's office, operational procedures have been developed for the processing of these plans, truly reinforcing the idea that it is all hands on deck for all of us. School districts will be notified of final approval as soon as we are able to move through the approval process. So please be patient with us during this time. I sent out an email earlier this afternoon that stated to provide districts the feedback and approval they desire and need of their school district learning plan as quickly as possible, we must make our review process as efficient as possible. Therefore, each school district is allowed to submit their complete and entire plan with all attachments one time. DPI will either recommend approval or provide feedback to each district one time. Just a reminder to all on the line, it is DPI's responsibility to review, accept, or deny plans at this time. We will not be able to provide large amounts of feedback for correction of plans due to the volume and the speed in which we were asked to complete this task for the governor's office. If your plan is not recommended for approval on its initial submission, a district can resubmit, and DPI will review a final time and send to the governor. I will tell you that I sent a follow-up to that first email to provide some further clarification. As a follow-up to that email, I stated, we hope you understand it is imperative that your plan is fully ready to submit in accordance to the guidance. DPI will continue to get feedback on the first submission, but based on our capacity to support so many plans at once, we cannot provide more technical support beyond that, and will need to forward the second submission to the governor's office. We will continue to answer questions before plan submission, and I have spoken to NDCEL and REA leaders, and they are ready to help. So please reach out to our educational partners to assist you and get another set of eyes on your plan before your submission. Oops, that's me. If I were in Senator Holmberg's appropriations hearing, I think I'd be fined $5 or something like that. So thank you. I appreciate that. I also was asked to share that there have been plans in template format that haven't been received, that aren't meeting all of the expectations outlined in the governor's and the DPI guidance. So we encourage districts to use the guidance on the DPI website to address the components within your local plan. If you choose to utilize a format or a template, please use the template guidance that is also posted on our website, created by Luke Schaefer, the Executive Director of the CREA, and others, and that seems to yield good results. I want to also move on to child nutrition at this point in time. Things are fluidly moving in that arena as well. I didn't know child nutrition could be that complex, but it certainly has a lot of components, and so grateful to Linda Schleyer and her team for their constant communication with USDA. So USDA has updated its guidance for meal service during school closures. In addition to open summer food service program sites, districts may choose to also operate a closed enrollment program to target outreach for meals to households with students eligible for free or reduced price meals. Under this option, districts would contact households directly and target them with students eligible for free and reduced price meals to determine which students want those meals. The district must also provide meals upon request from all households with students, even though they may not be eligible for free or reduced price meals if they are choosing this option. North Dakota is waiting for approval on 2 or more waivers, one to waive the area eligibility requirements for the summer food service program sites, and the other will waive the requirement for children to be present when meals are picked up. USDA has indicated that these waivers will be approved soon. USDA has also provided additional guidance on home-delivered meals. Households must provide written consent to the district to have meals delivered at their home. Children do not have to be present when meals are delivered, and a maximum of 2 meals per child per day may be delivered. Meals for multiple days may also be delivered at one time up to 1 week's worth of meals, equaling 5 school days. I want to share with you a message that I got, or that I received in relation to the governor's comments a couple days ago at his press conference regarding his grocers. And the grocers had mentioned that they are keeping their foods well stocked, their shelves well stocked, but sometimes certain food items were in scarcity, and the governor cautioned against panic buying and making sure that everyone had enough in the community. A superintendent reached out to me and shared an idea, and he said, he gave an example that of his 390 plus students, only 80 or so of those students were taking advantage of the breakfast and lunches that were provided by the school. And he used his own example, his own family's experience as an example. He said they're eating home 66% more of the time from that family's kitchen or that family's refrigerator. And his family in itself had finished an entire dozen of eggs at one meal. And that's a growing family. That's the way that it is. And there were limits that were placed on the purchases at the local grocery store in his community. So he provided a thought that maybe we as school districts, if we can help overcome the stigma of those students receiving that breakfast and lunch meal at the school, that it doesn't mean that there isn't food in the family's home, and it doesn't mean that you're a free or reduced or there's no stigma that goes along with it, but it could be our students' part and helping to make sure that they were taking advantage of the opportunity that the school was providing them the food, and then allowing those grocery stores to better serve the elderly in their community or those that may not be able to travel to the next community for grocery items, and or those families that simply just don't have children in school and they are relying solely on the local grocer. So I wanted to share that with you, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when I speak about my student cabinet. To wrap up the child nutrition, I also wanted to share an opportunity. North Dakota Department of Public Instruction has had a long-standing partnership with the foundation called No Kid Hungry. Share Our Strength campaign is occurring. So the No Kid Hungry Foundation is advertising their Share Our Strength campaign, and it's offering emergency grants to school districts and community organizations to ensure that all children have access to adequate nutrition. There is the emergency grant request form available on DPI's COVID webpage under the child nutrition section. So these emergency grants can cover some of the costs in addition to the food costs that your local schools may be experiencing. So again, No Kid Hungry, Share Our Strength campaign, emergency grant request form for school districts on DPI's COVID webpage, child nutrition. The other information that I want to report out to you is very exciting, and it really speaks to the quality of education and access in North Dakota. I want to report to you an update on the broadband accessibility for North Dakota. So NDIT, along with the Broadband Association, have been gathering data on unserved households from the state. This comprehensive data will inform alternative strategies moving forward. Now, the report that I'm about to share with you is, the report that I'm about to share with you includes the Broadband Dakota Courier Network. This doesn't include Midco. Midco generally covers our more urban areas. So the status that I'm about to report to you is generally our rural areas, but I'll get to Midco in a moment. So the Dakota Carrier Network and the Broadband Association of North Dakota are surveying which student homes have broadband service and which ones do not. With North Dakota schools turning to distance education, a crucial question is, are rural student households able to obtain broadband service through their local rural telecommunications company? Dakota Carrier Network provides services to 15 rural telecommunications companies that cover almost all of rural North Dakota. To put it simply, Dakota Carrier Network operates and maintains the broadband network, and the rural telecoms connect that network with their customers, homes and businesses. So the Dakota Carrier Network, https://dakotacarrier.com about-us/owner-companies provides more information. So here's where we're at. These rural telecoms serve more than 164,000 households and businesses in about 300 communities throughout North Dakota. Dakota Carrier Network serves almost all of North Dakota except for the metro areas of Bismarck and Mandan, Fargo, and Grand Forks, which are served by Midco and other large commercial providers. The broadband availability survey is focusing on rural areas because availability is most often not an issue in large North Dakota cities. So far, DCN has identified 797 student households that do not have broadband subscriptions and identified possible solutions to 629 of them. So again, 797 student households that do not have broadband subscriptions, and there are solutions for 629 of those 797, including provision of mobile hotspots. This survey is ongoing, and the information will get better every day. But DCN, it informs us that North Dakota is well positioned to provide distance education. And here's the kicker. 99% of North Dakota students have access to high-speed broadband. 99% of North Dakota students have access to high-speed broadband. We have included in our process toolkit a link to this website where all you have to do is enter your zip code into the box at the top to find out which providers are in your area to provide broadband. That website is https://broadbandnow.com. That's broadbandnow.com/North-Dakota. So I was very excited to hear and learn about that. Now I want to move now on to the update about special education. The Special Education Office has been receiving several questions related to pre-K special ed and other evaluation process questions. These questions and responses will be posted to the Q&A on the department's FAQ in the COVID-19 website. We want to inform you an update from yesterday's briefing. The North Dakota Physical Therapy Board has informed DPI that telehealth is allowed by the North Dakota State Practice Act as a definition of telehealth, and that includes the practice of physical therapy. The North Dakota Physical Therapy Board will abide by the flexibility offered by the Office of Civil Rights at the Department of Health and Human Services. This guidance is located on our website under the COVID-19 nationwide public health emergencies. We also want to let you know that our Special Education Office continues in our attempts to connect with the speech pathology and OT boards as well to receive clarification for all of us. I want to remind everyone as we move into the distance learning approval process to ask you to please continue to use the ND K-12 Educational Continuity Plan team space to continue to share your idea sharing, problem solving, collaboration, and file sharing, especially once some of you as districts get approval back from the governor that your plans have been approved. It'd be fabulous if you could begin to share those out on this continuity plan team space so others can see the examples that you have included and the plan that has been approved. I think that wraps up our official report. There are just a few things that I want to share with you today that happened in our world. I want to share with you that I was able to have my student cabinet meeting again today. We're having a weekly meeting, and I have to tell you how excited these kids are, and just to share with all of our school leaders and teachers out there what an amazing job you are doing. A few of the students are already up and learning, up on their online learning environment and their distance environments. A few of them had a trial run today, and they were so happy to be connected with their teammates, their classmates, their teachers. They were so happy to see their teachers. One student cabinet member commented on how excited she was to see her teacher learning, because her teacher was really excited about this, and she said, we're all having a lot of fun. So the optimism in our students' voices, once you provided them the routine that they've been craving, I think, for the last 12 days or 10 days, has been really noticeable. And I just wanted to thank all of you for that. You guys are doing incredible jobs. As the plans roll in, we're very, very, very happy with the work that you're doing. And I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. I think with that, the student cabinet members are working with our communications team at the JIC, and they have created 5 videos thus far that dealt with suggestions peer-to-peer on the on social distancing. This week, they've chosen to have their videos centered around online learning and the advantages of that and the excitement and success that they're having with that. And these videos will be sent to JIC, our JIC Joint Information Center, and Facebook videos will be created that we can share out on social media, and we can also I believe there may be, I can't confirm that. I believe that's what JIC had said. I can't confirm that. I believe that's what JIC had said. I also wanted to share with you that our student cabinet has created their own Instagram, so they can share the governor's message of facts, not fear, and they're pulling out down direct messages from DPI's website, FAQs, as well as the Department of Health's information, and they're sharing that with all of their peers. They were very excited to report within just a week they've had over 200 followers, and they were very excited about that. The final thing that I want to share with you is there have been lots and lots of questions about family engagement and the opportunity I'd shared at the press conference for the family engagement for earliest learners. Our social media posts of how to get our 4-year-olds registered for the North Dakota exclusive online learning for 4-year-olds has gotten a lot of attention too. We had over 4,300 engagements on that one social media post. So if any of you out there are still interested or haven't checked out the opportunity to enroll 4-year-olds in a family engagement program where families and 4-year-olds learn together, please look to the COVID Update 19 website, and the registration link will be there. With that, thank you and have a very good day. Until tomorrow, stay safe, everyone.